If you're a heating, air conditioning technician, salesperson, or in the in-home trades, how do you prepare for the slow season and why does this matter? This is a super important question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell, coming to you live for HVAC technician sales secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you, your closer. So here's what you need to know. At the end of the day, most in-home services and most services in general work on a bell curve. There's busy seasons and there's slow seasons. I'm going to give you Sacramento's because I know it very well, but it doesn't mean it's going to be yours, okay? So let's just start at the beginning of the busy season in Sacramento's, typically around right after tax day, April 15th till about August 15th. It's busy. Yeah, it's got some but from about August 15th to October, right to about Halloween, it's kind of like, whoa, we got to find some jobs. We got to find some work to do, right? And then from about Halloween until about Valentine's Day, till about February 15th, it's busy. And then it's slow from about February 15th until about tax day. So for those 2 months, it's about 4 months of slowness. So you got to be prepared for it. And so your actions in the busy season really do determine how well you're going to do in the slow season. And with this being said, you really got to pay attention. And starting around June and July is really, and maybe even the beginning of August is where you got to go time out. I have either built a bunch of bad habits or I need to reinforce good ones. I need to make sure that I'm on my path and on my journey and on my mission and purpose, as they say. And realize that it's easier for you to sell when it's hot or cold when the demand is there. And a lot of technicians, when I was a corporate sales trainer for 10 years, you know, we would have to bring technicians in on a certain date and say, hey, we're going through this, even though it was busy, because we knew that the slow season was coming and we needed to have a fostering of good habits and get them back on path. And speed helps you when it's hot or cold, but it kills you when it's nice weather, right? You get conditioned to saying, all right, well, let's say I've got 8 or 15 calls I got to run today, whatever your number is. I don't know where you work, right? It may be 6, maybe 8, maybe 10, maybe 20. I got a whole bunch of calls that I got to run today, so I got to speed through them. Well, that kills your process when it's slow because like you need that rapport building time. You need that conversation time. You need that story time. You need the ability to talk about what specials that you're running. And so here's what I would highly recommend. First, go to HVACTechSecrets.com and join the party, right? HVACTechSecrets.com. I'll put you on the list and you get the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel. What that means is special training for you and discounted training, right? Let's start role playing 1 month before the slow season. So if you feel it start to dwindle down, you're like, I better get in and role play. And so here's a mistake. If you're a technician, it is your role and responsibility to build your skills, your talents, and your capabilities on your own. And so if you're like, hey, I'm waiting for mommy, daddy, AKA your boss, to pay for it, maybe that's a bad idea. There's a lot of really good sales trainers in this industry. There's some really sucky ones too. I'm not going to name names, but just know that there are. And so like realistically, you should be preparing and saying, hey, I'm going to take a class and be willing to pay for it for yourself, because if you wait for mommy and daddy, AKA the boss, to pay for everything, chances are good you're going to really struggle, because sometimes companies don't want to pay or they didn't make enough money to pay and they can't. So you got to look at it like, I'm going to invest in my future. I'm going to invest in everything that I can. And here's the 5. I'm going to give you the 5, right? You need to prepare for the 5 most common objections, and I'm going to give them to you. I want to think about it. I'm getting other bids. Your price is too high. You guys are all the same. And we're looking to do this at an unknown date. Window shoppers. And the reason why you as a technician, you as a salesperson, really got to prepare for the slow season is most salespeople, most technicians, most plumbers, most electricians, they get caught up and they get primed for busyness. But at the end of the day, when it slows down, right, you got to be prepared. You got to be like, it's going down. You got to be prepared for the slow season. Those are some of the actions you can take. Now, you may be legally able to record people where you're at to get your presentation. You can ask people where you need to ask. Please, if you're going to record people, get permission in the state that you're in that requires it. If it's a one-party state, you may not. I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm not an attorney, doctor, marriage counselor, or a nutritionist, but I do love tacos. So record your presentation and see where you're saying things that make sense and don't make sense and the common questions that you're getting. Pay for somebody to role play with you. Create a role play study buddy group. Now, 2 people is really good for study buddies. 3 people turns into coffee and donuts. 4 people turns into a circus. 5 people turns into a raging party. And the numbers just excel from there. if you're going to do role play on your own, say, hey, for today, I'm going to be the taskmaster. I'm going to make sure that we're running things and that we're staying on task and things are going to get done. Next week, it's your turn, right? And if you feel like it's starting to be coffee and donut conversations and things aren't getting done, then no, it's a problem. So set your agenda, but 1 hour. Just do everything you can to get your hour of role play in and be a little greedy on it. It's your role and responsibility. How you prepare for the slow season really determines where you're going to be at for the busy season, and how you prepare for the busy season really going to determine how you're going to do and be in the slow season. I'm trying to give you the least amount of actions possible so that you can be successful at this and not go, man, I got 95 steps to do. Here's what you need to do. 1, realize what you're doing now is going to determine the next 3 months. 2, get in and role play. 3, be willing to pay for your own coaching and your own training. There you go. You got 1 of 2 things to do from here. Just 1 of 2. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update, or hit follow. And I got one little PS for you. Share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon.